A new function found on the BERNINA 790 Pro embroidery machine is called a lock scaling function. Hi, I'm Sarah from sewingmastery.com, and we're doing all the free video tutorials on this newest model from BERNINA, and we have a complete playlist of all the videos on the BERNINA 790, which between these new videos and those videos make a complete playlist, over 100 videos for you to master this machine. Now, what I have right here is actually a sample from our BERNINA Pinpoint Placement Masterclass. It's actually become quite a popular class online. Yes, you get the designs to create a whole cloth quilt. This was just like one section, so I thought I'd kind of bring it in and show you, because the function that I'm about to explain would have been so nice when I filmed this course because of the way the BERNINA Pinpoint Placement is designed to work. So I'm going to actually show you both the function and what happens if you don't use the function. But one of the things that we need to do is when we connect designs. Now this design is actually kind of a rectangular design. I've kind of got it hooped, and I have it hooped crooked on purpose so I can show you how you're going to use the corners to align, and it will make you able to hoop anything, especially if you're doing like a in the hoop project or a edge-to-edge quilting project. And yes, I'm actually using a bigger hoop. You're going to notice something slightly different on screen. So my BERNINA Maxi hoop is somewhere else. This happens to be the BERNINA Jumbo hoop. This is not a hoop that I would say, oh, you need to use this because you need it. It's bigger. It just cuts off the size that I can't use because this is technically for the BERNINA 8 series, which is a one-step bigger machine. Okay, so back to this. What happens is when we go to connect all these designs together, is we do not want the designs to change or morph into shape. And I know also the new pinpoint placement option on this machine allows us to really skew the designs into any shape of block that we might be working with. And that's great, except for this project. We need to keep it exactly the size it is, but being able to just move, twist, and then be right where I want it to stitch without changing any of its size. Let's explain. We do have a link to the Pinpoint Placement Masterclass in the description below. Go check it out. There's actually free videos you can watch to see what that course is all about and what you're going to be learning. And yes, all these beautiful embroidery designs are included with that course. To give you an idea what the next step is for this project is this design needs to be mirror imaged, connected to these 2 points, which by the way, we can now use the BERNINA 790 Pro laser to help totally nail the exact location of where the design is going to be stitched, and that eliminates you having to turn this hand wheel over here and tip the needle down to see if you're actually in the right spot. So all of a sudden, this project will go 10 times faster than the way I had to do it on previous machines. So if you've got the BERNINA 790 Pro, you're probably in love with all the new features. This is just going to be one more to add to your list. If you haven't used the laser for embroidery yet, it's turned on in this lower corner. So I would just go ahead and turn it on. I use it for sewing, I use it for embroidery, and I love that it just is right at my fingertips. Since I'm doing a portion of this course, I am noticing first I need to mirror image it so it connects at the right point with the design I've already done. Navigate to the Pinpoint Placement function. And here is some of the options that you have. We can actually go in and, oh yes, you have to do it with the hoop on. I do love that this machine always tells me what my next step is. If I'm supposed to have the hoop on, it tells me. If it tells me I need to have the hoop off, it tells me. And I need to do things in the order that it requires it to be done in. So if you ever find yourself kind of in this like little loop, just make sure you look at the screen. Look at what it's asking you to do. A lot of times it needs you to have you take the hoop off for it to calibrate at the beginning when you first turn it on. And so many people like put it back on, but no, you have to actually let it do its little little things. So just watch the screen. It'll tell you what to do. There's that laser, super bright. Love that I can see it on just about any fabric that I'm using. So I'm needing to line up these top corners with the design that's already been stitched. So when I'm doing this, and I'm going to do it without that locking function on first, and I want to show you what's going to happen, and I'm going to reset it and show you how lovely it is. So when I pick a corner, and then I'm going to use the knobs to move it into position. So I'm just kind of keeping my eye on the laser because there's a little stitched corner of where the previous design stitched, and all I need to do is set the laser right above the exact hole I want it to go in. So I can totally dial it in. Now I need to see where the other corner is aligned. But before I do that, I do need to touch set. Now, what's going to happen next is as I pick my corner, it moves over there, but I'm going to turn these knobs really fast, and I'm going to have you notice the screen. Can you tell that the design is actually enlarging right now? So it's trying to make this design fit into an area that I might have pre-designated. Well, that's not really what I want, because if I make this bigger or smaller accidentally, I'm going to have a design that next time I put the third design on, it's not going to fit at all. So right now, depending on which one I touch, which of these knobs I'm turning, one rotates it and one kind of expands it to kind of be that fill-in. Well, that was the part that we always had to be careful. You could only use one knob for this second point, and if you didn't, you actually changed the size. So you can even see here 104% has been what it's been increased to. Well, that's not going to be what we want. Touch the reset button. We're going to start all the way over, this time using the lock function. So you have to turn it on. The yellow box indicates that it's been activated, and let's just go ahead and use kind of those same steps to realign one of the corners, and then we'll see how the second corner is as slick as can be. Choose the first corner, move the design into position based on what is in your hoop. Again, loving the laser without having to do the twisting of the hand wheel. Set that point, choose your next point. Since we're working with a rectangle, I went ahead and just chose the outer perimeter option here. But remember, we can choose the butterfly and choose any point within this design. But since we're actually using corners, this makes the most sense. So now all I need to do is twist it, and now the design is coming exactly where I need it to be. And I can see I'm right where I need to be on that corner, and I'm ready to stitch. So see how the design has already twisted to the position I need it to be in, and it is ready to go. Click set one more time. Everything disappears, and it always freaks people out, like, did it work? And yes, it did, because you can see it right here. X out of the pinpoint placement. Your design is positioned as you've twisted it, and you're ready to start stitching. That's how easy it is to use pinpoint placement. Now, we do go into a lot more detail in our pinpoint placement class, but I am loving the option of the new lock scaling function that we have on the 790 Pro. So check out the links in the description of all of our online courses, as well as the complete playlist of all the free video tutorials that we have done on the BERNINA 790 Pro and the 790 Plus.